There's a new weapon pack in town, and it's called the Pump, Flip, and Fire Weapon Pack. It's going to be coming out on August 26th, which is tomorrow. But right now, we're taking a look at it, and it consists of a couple different weapons. One being the new 257 Frost. This thing can take anything from a 2 to a weapon class 6 animal in the game. Then there's also a 22 Magnum. It's the Antha Action 22 Mag. It's a lever action rifle. And then there's also one more thing, which is the 410. And that would probably be in the shotguns. Right here, the Giddings SSC 410 Coyote Shotgun. This is a 410 single shot shotgun, and we're going to be trying it out today. So the 257 Frost is actually a pump action, and kind of unique in the fact that typically most rifles are not a pump action. You'll find more often a shotgun's going to be in the pump action. And we found it. Right here's the 257 polymer tip bullets. So it goes from class 2 through 6. Now I do want to take a look at this once and see the difference between the 243 polymer tip bullets and the 257 polymer tip bullets. It looks like it has more expansion, or it looks like it has more expansion than the 243 does. But penetration is also exceeded. So we have more expansion and more penetration than the 243. That means this will potentially knock out the 243 from the game. And not only that, let's take a look at these incredible bullet tips. Look at how cool those things look. All right, so there's one more thing I want to do before we head out, and that is customize our rifle. The Frost 257 is going to now be something more unique, and I think I quite like that. Perfect. Boy, it's not much of one, but it's definitely a bighorn sheep, and there's one out here at 400 yards to start out with this 257. We're going to see how it does on this ram, and I think we're probably going to take down this one that's just standing here because the other one isn't really much bigger, and I'd rather not take a walking shot. But here we go. A 400-yard shot is coming up. Oh my god, that was an awesome shot. Are you kidding me? He already went down. He already went down. Like, we could potentially even double up if we wanted to. I really don't think that these sheep stand even the slightest bit of a chance with this rifle. Any medium-sized animal is absolutely done. All right, yeah, I'm definitely impressed. I was not expecting that, not even the slightest bit. Are you kidding me? A 400-yard shot, getting double lung, and having that ram go down within, I don't know, 30 yards is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Sometimes we can't even do that with the 30-06 or even the AR. And you know what's cool about this spot right here is actually this tree is where I took down one of the biggest OG diamond mule deer that I've ever gotten. He came from out of that brush right there, walked all the way over here, tucked in these pine trees, and ended up feeding less than 30 yards away where we took him right out of a tree stand. So it's kind of a memorable moment for me once we come past this area. All right, so we got to figure out exactly where this thing was standing and figure out how far he went before he piled up, because that was absolutely nuts. There he is down right there. Now we got to figure out where he was. This ram was standing right here, and he went, yeah, less than 30 yards. This ram went less than 30 yards and piled up. That's how good that 257 did. A double lung shot at 400 yards. Like it wasn't even there. I mean, you just don't see this with many rifles. You really don't, especially with this caliber. Oh, holy ram. That is a giant. 152 minimum, and he's got the super wide spread out horns. But he's facing directly at us, and we do not have a shot. What's interesting about this ram, though, is the fact that he's not even a max weight ram. He's a decent size weight, but he's not even close to a max weight. And as much as I'd like to go for a 350-yard shot, it's just not going to be feasible because of the fact that he's buried in that grass. So now, the closer we get, the more we can't even see this thing. If that was him there, we'd potentially be able to have a shot, but this one is a bit of a different scenario. Oh, hold up. Actually, there's a chance that if we get high enough up here, we may be able to see through the top of this grass and go for a shot. If we can find a nice little opening, such as this, then we may be able to go right through that grass. If we could back up just a tad bit more, but that's going to be about as good as we can get. Right there. All right. 350-yard shot coming up. Right here. On a beautiful ram. The shot looked money to me, and it was. He's going down already. Down to 50%, and he's going to pile up right there. He just piled up. Wow. We literally held right on the front shoulder, and I was hoping we'd get enough penetration to go through in order to get a vital hit, but I wasn't sure because at 350 yards, a front shoulder shot could be potentially pretty risky. Well, there's only one way to find out what this new weapon can actually do. And that is try it out. So that's what we did. And it did not. I repeat, it did not let us down. Not even a tiny bit. Alright, so he was standing right here feeding, and we watched him run off this direction here. Is that him laying right there? No, that's actually a rock. But he didn't go too much further than this. Nope. In fact, he should be down right here. Ooh, a bear. That gives me an idea. I wonder how this rifle would do on the bear. I guess he went further than what we actually thought. We got tracks here. Oh, there he is. He's laying right here. All right, let's take a look at it. It's going to be a 161.6. And we got a 356-yard shoulder blade long shot. The fact that we busted through the shoulder blade at 360 yards is absolutely unbelievable. That's truly unbelievable. Because if you took that shot with a 243, 9 times out of 10, you're getting a flesh hit. And you're not going through that shoulder blade. Not even close. Especially the fact that we hit the thickest part. Absolutely drilled this ram and took him down pretty quickly. What a sweet ram. And what an incredible rifle. But as I said before, I wonder what it's going to be like on something a little bit bigger. Alright, now this is not actually ethical to be able to hunt the black bear, but I did want to see how it did on the black bear, and it seems like the percentage went down pretty rapidly, so I'm rather impressed. I was not expecting that. I mean, I figured it'd run a good ways before maybe the percentage dropped, or potentially it might just be a flesh hit. And well, as you can see, that is for surely not the case with this. Not only that, we literally didn't even have to track the thing. He's laying right here. Are you kidding me? A running double lung shot at 93 yards, perfectly right behind the front shoulder, and smoke this bear. He didn't go 20 yards. He did not go 20 yards from that shot. 19.96. And he weighed 460 pounds. That 257 bullet went right through like it wasn't even there. You know, ever since they stopped letting us use the 30-06 or the M1 Garand for the pronghorn, I kind of didn't really have anything to hunt them with. Well, I think this 257 rifle is actually going to be a pretty cool addition to be able to use for the pronghorn now. So we got a decent pronghorn buck out there. He's feeding at 280 yards, kind of facing directly at us. We don't really have the greatest angle for a shot, so we're going to wait a little bit here. See if he spins enough to get a shot. Oh, and a nice buck, a nice muley buck. Wait, did he just bed down there? I think he may have bedded down there. In which case, we're gonna get a shot on this one, and then we'll go after him in a second. So we'll have to hold for the heart. Ooh, we just smoked him. Yes, what a shot. And this guy might take off, which it looks like he already did. Nope, he didn't. Nope, he didn't. Perfect. So we're gonna be able to go after him right now. We're gonna get down, and also there's a really nice muley that just came trotting past us. That big 230 or 240s buck. Wide, really cool rack. So one thing I do want to do before we go over there, since this muley should be bedded right now and isn't really going anywhere anytime soon, is grab the 22. Because like I said, that gobbler came past and we could have taken him. Oh, that's him right there. There they are. I had a feeling we were going to jump him up. I had a feeling. Alright, so for this, we got to get the 22. Okay, I see why we couldn't find it, because it looks like it blends right in with this, with the screen and everything. Anyways, we wasted a ton of time trying to find that thing, but we did find it. There's our pronghorn down there. We should, along the way, be able to find these turkey now. So we'll keep that in slot 3. All right, so we got the 22 now, and we got the bullets. What do we have sneaking in over here now? Oh, there's one of the turkeys. But we also have this giant pronghorn. There he is right there, 280 yards away. Ooh, that's a beast of a pronghorn. Holy. We're going to try and close the distance here on this pronghorn buck. He's, well, roughly 250. And ideally, I'd like to be able to have him under that 220 mark. So if we can get to somewhere around 230s, we should be able to take the shot. According to this, right there, it's looking like he's roughly 215. And that is definitely in range for a shot. All right, right there. He's pretty broadside. Boy, it's hard to tell how far that is. 250. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's a ways. He's still a ways. So according to that, he's roughly 240 there. And we really can't get much closer than this. That's it. We're gonna have to go for a 230 to 250. We really shouldn't have much drop though. Here we go. Smoked him. Oh my god, we smoked him. And he's down. We held pretty much for top of the lung to compensate for a tad bit of drop, and I'd say we held just right because he went down almost instantly. Alright, now we gotta find this pronghorn here first, which we did smoke as well, right out there. I'm actually pretty curious to find out how we did on this one. We have even more out there. Nope, turkey. There's our gobbler. There's our gobbler. 320 yards away. I'm not sure if we can shoot that far. Well, I know we can, but yeah, we can only zero in for 160. So who knows where to hold at that distance. It could be kind of cool, though, if we could maybe just go for it and see. Oh, we dropped right underneath it. Oh, we dropped right underneath it. All right, well, now we know that this thing is super loud and it drops at 300 yards, which is to be expected. Got some mule deer taking off out over there. But we'll keep an eye out for that gobbler. And the next time we see him, maybe he won't be so lucky. That's not him, that's not him, and that's not him. What the heck? We got a bunch of animals over here. Although I lost sight of our gobbler. There he is. Now he's 300 again. But it looks like now he's maybe rested there. Yeah, he is rested there. Okay. So we should be able to go over there and get him. All right, here's our shot. 280 yard, quartering directly away, liver lung shot on an 87.38 gold pronghorn antelope. But look at that penetration. That's actually quite impressive. He was angled so hard, and we got a good 6 to 8 inches of penetration all the way through the lung and going straight for the heart. I will take that. I will definitely take that. Now, the cool part is we can keep an eye on this gobbler here, and we should be able to work our way in to get a shot. But right now, what we're gonna do is grab this pronghorn buck that we smoked over here. And we got a bear coming out. There's another muley buck bedded up there on the top of that ridge. And if I remember right, there's another really good muley buck right over here behind this pronghorn. Which, in fact, could be right there. Holy. I can't actually see him unless... Holy, I can, but barely. I think we might be able to go through that grass. All right, here goes nothing. We're going for a 150-yard shot through that grass on this muley. Which now I already lost. Is he not right there? Yeah, he's right there. Oh my God, we smoked him. He's already down. He's already down. Oh, a giant pronghorn. Giant pronghorn just showed up. There he is, right there. And I just realized we probably can't even take him, because otherwise we'll lose all these zones here. So anyways, let's go over here and grab our giant pronghorn buck, and then we'll grab our bonus muley. Here he is, a 100.6 gold, and we got a 227-yard double lung shot. Again, amazing amount of penetration all the way through the opposite lung there and exited on the other side. And this thing was a massive pronghorn. He weighed 125 pounds. Look at the size of the horns on that thing, and it still did an incredible job. But what I'm even more impressed at is the fact that this muley went down almost instantly from a shot that I don't even know where we hit. All I'm thinking is we potentially would have gotten liver, lung, and maybe intestine to be able to take him down that fast, because he went down so quick it wasn't even funny. In fact, he's literally laying less than 20 feet away from where we took that shot. There's our buck, and it was a 196. We made a heart shot at 270 yards. That angle is kind of unexplainable, though. I don't even know how the heck we would have taken an angle like that and came out in such a precise location that we did. Like literally a perfect shot, but I didn't even know that he was angled like this. All I knew was that that was his rack there, and I figured maybe his body went this way. And well, it worked out about as good as it possibly could have. Took down this thing instantly. By the way, I don't think that's the one that we were after. There's one that's way bigger than this. All right, we're back after that gobbler, and he just called right down over this ridge here. Now, we can zero in for 160, so that means we could take up to about a 200-yard shot. There. Again. Oh, now I see him. Now I see him. Right there, he just laid down. About 100 yards exact. Got him. Oh, that was cool. That was awesome. We snuck up to 100 yards away from this gobbler, took him down with a new 22 Magnum, and we pretty much just centered him. All right, now we're taking a look at the reload animation here. Pretty sweet. It loads it from the top of the barrel. And the cool part is that you can actually center them and still be able to get a nice vital hit to take these turkeys down. You don't technically need a vital hit to be able to take a turkey down and for it to have full integrity. But the fact that we can now do that, even though we don't need to, is super awesome. But yeah, we're too far. Oh, right here. All right, well, let's take a look at this max weight gobbler. And we pulled off a lung shot, 4.58. He was almost a diamond. Man, that would have been cool. A level 2, which potentially could have been a diamond. We took a 113-yard shot, and look at that penetration as well. Wow, that's sweet. I didn't think that we'd be able to use a weapon with this caliber and strength to be able to take down a turkey before, but now this is going to be my new go-to for sure, because it's basically like we're using a 223 to be able to hunt for turkey. I like that. That is pretty awesome. Ooh, we just spotted something that's kind of a giant. Look at this. That is a max weight, almost max scoring potential muley. We haven't seen him yet, but he's stepping out right there. Oh, look at that rack. That is a beauty. That's a good one too, but that thing is unbelievable. All right, we're going for a 400-yard shot here. That's what we're going for. And that should have been a smoke buck. It is. Oh my God, we drilled him. Oh, that's another giant though. That is another very impressive buck. And so is that. All right, we took a shot at a gobbler before, and this one is roughly the same distance, 400 yards. Last time we almost hit it. Got some pronghorn trotting through here. But, I'd like to see if we could potentially pull this off and get this gobbler. Oh my God, we did. Oh my God. First shot, smoked him. He's going down. He is going down. I lost sight of him, and I think that's because he popped out a render. But I kid you not, we never even took a practice shot that time. We just knew based off the last time we took a shot that far, roughly what the bullet drop was like, and this time we hit absolutely perfectly on the dot. Okay, so now we have to track down our big muley, and then we're gonna finish it off with getting that gobbler. So our big muley ran this direction here. He shouldn't be too terribly hard to find. All right, yeah, somewhere around here should be where he went, or at least as far as he made it to. I'm not seeing any blood or any tracks, but we found our buck. We literally ran right into him. Ooh, what a good sign. What a good sign, and what an incredible buck. Holy, I haven't seen this rack before on the mule deer, so this is definitely pretty awesome. Let's pick him up. It's going to be a 287.6 gold, but our shot was a 400-yard double lung shot. Wow, what a buck. Super, super wide buck. Good mass. Awesome tines. What a buck. More importantly, let's take a look at that shot. Dead center lung at 400 yards. And the 257 did absolutely incredible. All right, now the moment of truth comes when we go and find this gobbler. And since it's so far away, we gotta grab an ATV, because otherwise it'd take forever until we get there. Here's some good blood. More good blood. Yeah, I mean, the shot was so far that it's not necessarily gonna just drop him. And it's saying good blood too, blood rate medium, which is kind of awesome. Ooh, another giant buck out there at 200, well, 350, but you know, if he slows down, I wouldn't mind going for a shot with this thing. 380 yards out there. Oh my God, I think we just smoked him. Yes, we did. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. I can't say enough good things about this rifle. Are you kidding me right now? The shot that we just made was absolutely a dream. Here's our gobbler though. A right lung shot at 412 yards. Are you kidding me? I didn't think we would have connected like that. I did not think we would have connected like that. 4.2. It's going to be a gold and a 412 yard lung shot with a 22 Anatha Action Magnum. Now, I know I said we were going to end it on that gobbler, but there's no way we're not going to go over here and check out what we just did with the 257. There's absolutely no way. Alright, so our buck was trotting through right around here. And that's about where we took the shot. And there he lays. There he lays right down there. Man, he didn't go 35, maybe 40 yards. And piled up. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. Wow. And another spectacular muley buck. A 265 gold, and our shot was a 380 yard walking long liver shot. Now imagine if this rifle can do this good on a class 6 or a class 5 animal. Imagine what it's going to be like on a coyote. Let's just say he's going to be crumbling. He is definitely going to be crumbling. But anyways, that's an awesome buck, an amazing shot, and that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend getting this weapon pack because, wow, a couple of these rifles are pretty sweet. So that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.